I'm going to go ahead and get started here. Mine looks a little different than yours because I'm on the Mac, but all the tools and stuff, that part is all still the same. So let's see, we're going to open a file. Open in Inkscape. Okay, so here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay, so this is the file that we're going to work with, and I'm just going to get rid of the that page border so that I can work in here. Okay, so the first thing we got is we got text. Okay, so let's just copy this text out. So, oh, my dogs are going crazy in the other room. Sorry about that. That one especially is kind of nuts. But we got 3 altogether. Okay, so Arial Black looks like it's about the closest match to this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it up here and try and size it about the same size. And that looks about right. Okay, that looks just about right. And then we'll line that T up as close as we can get it. Okay, now what you'll see is that the letters don't match up. I'm going to turn my letters a different color real quick. I'm going to turn mine red and reduce the opacity so we can see through them a little bit. That way we can work a little better with it. Okay, so if you select the text, put this marker right in here. Now, if you hit the Alt button and hold it down, use the side arrow keys, you can add a little extra space in here, and we can go one letter at a time and try and line these up. Now, this isn't exactly the right font. It's as close as I was able to find on here. And if our client doesn't know the exact font that they used, the best thing I can do is get as close as I possibly can. And this was as close as I was able to find. So, okay. And it just takes a little time, you know, to do this right. And just line this up as close to perfect as you can. Okay, went a little bit too far. That's Okay, so that's about as close to perfect as I can get with that. Now let's zoom back out. Yeah, so okay, let's go in there and adjust that R just a little bit the opposite way. Perfect. Okay. Okay, so we've got our trucking LLC. We've got that done. Let's move that over to the side. We don't need that right now. Okay, now let's do Dean. So D-E-N, Dean. And then let's change that font, and that was Arial Black, and that's bold. So, okay, now let's try and okay, I'm just going to kind of put that to the top. Let me change the color on it again. Reduce it down some. Okay. Oops. Okay. What I'm trying to do is I'm going to try and match the size of the D. Like, so I gotta go just a little. Okay. Okay, so that D is about as close as I can get. Let's see, we'll go in just a little bit. Okay, so that is about perfect. And now you can see these other letters are off. So what we're going to do is go right back in here. And now we're going to go the other way. So this lettering is about as close to the original lettering as I can get. Now, you can see that we've got these shadows. So there's a couple different ways to do that, but one of the easiest ways, let's just pull this over here so we can work with it. Let's change this back to a black or a dark color. Okay, so we're going to make a couple of copies of this. So just Control D, Control on the letter D at the same time, we'll make a duplicate. Okay, and then as soon as you hit Control D, you can just click on it and drag it away. So what we've got is we've got a black, and then we've got a white, and then we've got a black. So one of these we're going to change to white, but then I won't be able to see it against the background, so I'm just going to go like a light gray for now, and then later we'll change it to white. So let's see. These two, what we're going to do, click on both of them and align them back up. Where's the alignment? Okay, we're going to align them back up together, and then we're going to click on the top one because that's the only one we can click on. And then what we're going to do is we're going to move it, let's say 2 spaces with the arrow keys to the right, and then 2 spaces down, and then we're going to come up here and lower it to the bottom. Now You can't tell that that just got lowered to the bottom, but it did. So now we're going to take this one and the one that's on the top layer, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to line them up. And then this one, we're only going to move one space over and one space down. And then instead of putting it to the bottom, we're just going to go one layer down. Okay, and now we're going to turn it, while it's still selected, we're going to go ahead and turn it white, which is the same as the background color. Bam, there you go. That. Okay, now this black is thicker than the one I made. So what we're going to do is we're going to zoom in real close. We're going to zoom in real close. And then we're going to select the white one. Whoops. Okay, so we're going to select this white one. Where's the white one? There it is. Okay. That's the white one. And then we're going to select this top layer of black at the same time. Okay. That way, when I move them, they're both going to move at the same time. So instead of moving the bottom layer, I'm going to move those two layers at the same time. So I'm going to move them up another one and to the left another one. And that exposed more of the underneath one. And does that look about the same? It looks about the same. So click off of it. And now I'm going to move that out of the way. So now I'm going to select all of them, and then Control G will make them a group so that I can just click one time. So now let's take it and put it over here and see how it looks close up. Oops, that's a little too close. Let's see if that looks about right. Okay, let me change that opacity here. The fill and stroke. The fill. Oh, I can't change the opacity there. Let's try this. Let's change this down to like 40. It's not gonna, I don't think it's going to do it. It only did the part of it. Okay, that's close enough. So it looks, man, that looks really close. Obviously my letters are a little, okay, so. Okay, now theirs is definitely thicker. Okay, so we're going to have to ungroup this. I'm going to put that back up to 100 because it's bothering me. Okay, that's better to see. Yeah, so okay, so you can see their line, their outside line is even thicker than that. Okay, so we're going to have to ungroup that, which is Shift Control G. And then we're going to, let's just select that bottom layer. Okay, now we're going to go another one to the right and another one down. And let's see what that looks like. Okay. Control G to group it all back together again. And let's go check it out. Okay, so that line, that, excuse me. Yeah, that gray line, that looks about the same thickness as that one. Okay, so now what is different? Let's see what's different. Okay, so their line here doesn't touch over here. It trails off, but it doesn't touch. Okay. Let's see. The E looks pretty good. Now, the only problem is this N is touching right there. Okay, so we're going to ungroup that again. Maybe not. Let's leave it the same and see what we can do. Okay. Let's see if we can click in there and do this. Nope, it's only doing the top layer. So okay, so this is gonna take a minute. We're gonna ungroup it. Shift Control G. We're gonna ungroup it. And then we're gonna click on this outside layer. And then click on the text, and we're going to bring this up in here and click inside. Now that should just select this. Nope, that selected the top layer again. Damn it. All right. Well, let's move that top layer, and we'll see how many times we have to move it. So we're going to have to count how many times we hit that arrow so that it doesn't touch the E at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What I'm trying to do is make the space in between the N and the letter E and this E and the other E the same. So that was 6 moves. Okay. So we're done with that one. Now what we can do is just move it up out of the way a little bit. So that we can select the white one. Okay, so we're going to try and select that white one. And we're going to move it 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now we're going to go for the outside one here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Okay, so that looks a lot better, that spacing. That looks a lot better. Okay, so select that up, Control G. Okay, so this is slightly bigger. But now what we can do is line this upper corner up as close as we can get it. Okay. And then over over here, what we're going to do is we're just going to squeeze this end in just a little bit. So that lines up just about perfect. Awesome. So now we're done with that. So now we've got our Dean and our trucking. Those are done.